Hey everyone, Chris here from Meeple Overboard with a solitaire playthrough of this game, Teotihuacan, City of Gods. This is published by NSKN Games, designed by Daniel Tascini, who also worked on Tzolk'in the Mayan Calendar. The solitaire mode that we're playing today is designed by David Turczi, so thank you to him for helping provide a solitaire playthrough, a playable version of this game. What we'll be doing today is I will be controlling the red player. I have my dice all ready to go. There's level 3 die here ready to unlock when I ascend one of my workers. If you're not familiar with that, what that means, you'll see it. The other thing is the computer player, named Teotihuacan, according to the rulebook, will be played by yellow today. So these yellow dice will actually be moving around the board and taking actions. The rest of these, the blue dice and the black dice, you'll see are set to number 6. I do that simply to represent that they are dummy workers or blocker pieces, making some of these action spaces more expensive or harder to get to. Overall, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get more points than Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan will be administered through these dice with this little action pyramid here. They will roll the dice and take the result. These all have different number values associated to them. So this one, for example, is 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. So in this case, I would have Teotihuacan take this number 12 action, which is the lock action. You'll see all of these happen, and then, as needed, these actions will replace throughout. So you'll see how that all works, but that's basically the idea of what we're doing here, is we're going to be administering Teotihuacan's actions through these dice and through this little pyramid, which is a kind of a nice thematic touch. Anyway, it's going to start with 2 gold, 2 stone, and 2 wood. I'm going to start with these benefits. The computer player also always starts with the lowest number technology. I start with the lowest number technology, a few resources, a step up on the green track. I also leveled up one of my dice, so I have a number 2 as well as a few 1s, and then you have the starting places here that you can go to. The dummy blockers also start on these spaces, and the computer player will always start on spaces 8, 4, 6, and then this locked die over here in space number 7. Hopefully this will all start making sense. We're going to start taking turns, taking actions, and you'll see how it works. Everything is set up ahead of time already here, and we'll just start with my turn. The first thing I'm going to do, if you're not familiar with the game, what you'll do every turn is move one of your dice, 1, 2, or 3 of these action boards. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go here to collect some wood. I have to pay a cocoa because there's one uniquely colored worker there of, you always count unique colored workers, so I got to pay 1 cocoa, which is your food resource that you need to feed your workers at the end of each scoring phase of the game. We're going to be playing 3 of these when the white disc meets the black disc. So I've done that. I check here. If you're not familiar with the game, let me give you a brief rundown. You see how many of your colored dice are here, and you check the lowest number of its value. So this is just a chart. It's like a coordinate plane. I have 1 die of value 2, so I would get this benefit, which is 1 piece of wood, which is pretty nice. So I'll take that wood, and I'll be happy to add it right into my collection here. Now I'm going to take Teotihuacan's turn, rolling the dice, and it got a 4. So this is 2, 3, 4, right here. So to take the mask action, this is the rulebook that explains what every one of these actions is. It is long, it is fairly intense, and so I'm going to have to refer through this to make sure I don't mess up too many of the steps. So to take the mask action, Teotihuacan is going to grab the closest mask, closest unique mask, I should say, to one of the worship action spaces. So this is the die locked in the kind of worship area. This is the main action area. This is the locked worship area. So I'm going to come along here and see this is not a mask. This is a mask, right? So Teotihuacan is going to grab that mask. Does he have to pay resources for it? And can pay for its cost. That is correct. All right. Yep, there you go. So it's going to go and grab this one, which is closest to the number 1 starting space. So Teotihuacan gets this one. I'm going to hand it over here. He has to pay his 1 wood, and that'll be its turn. This is one of the... Oh, man. Okay, so one of the important things is when you take an action, if you take an action that shows this symbol, you have to power up your worker. So I should power up this 2 to a level 3, which is nice because higher power workers, you see, can yield more things, especially when you group them together. Now, all that being said, because this action here was not an action that showed this power-up symbol, the computer player will not power up its die. But this advancement tile or development tile, whatever it's called, is going to get replaced. And so this is a new one that players can acquire. At the end of Teotihuacan's turn, you also go through a few other steps, right? It took action number 4, so this number 4 action is going to swap out, and now you follow this little chain of command here. This shows that any remaining spot first needs to be filled out by moving this tile up. Since that's the only one that needs to be done, this action tile that was not there before is going to replace the spot that it was in before. This flips over and is moved to the bottom. So now you see this will be the sequence, and you'll get to see this kind of carried out continually with this flipping cycle. All right, well, that is Teotihuacan's turn. You also check to see if the computer player has 10 cocoa or not. It does not use cocoa normally like the normal players will. It doesn't have to pay for its workers or anything. But if it ever has 10 cocoa, it trades in 10 to grab 3 victory points, which can be a pretty big deal. So, no cocoa, so at the end of its turn, it'll bump this round tracker 1 space forward. When this reaches the black marker, we'll hit the first scoring round, and that'll be that. So now it's back to the good guys' turn, the human players, right? Good old humans. Let's go, humans, let's go. I think I'm going to take this fellow of mine up here. Now this is one of the tricky things about the game, is I have to pay 1 cocoa for each unique colored worker that was here before. This German flag consists of 3 colors. Even though one of them is mine, I still will have to pay 3 cocoa to take this action. Now, as in normal fashion, I'm going to go here. I have 2 workers. This time it doesn't matter what the value of them is, it just matters how many I have. So I'm going to take this action by spending 2 of my wood to build one of these houses here. This house is going to go on the leftmost spot of the second row track. So bam, I'm going to score 5 points for doing that. And the other thing I get to do is advance up the Avenue of the Dead track. So I'm going to do that. Bam, I've now caught up onto the first step. This will be good for scoring points in each of the scoring rounds. So that's my turn. That is everything that I can do. And I just need to power up one of these workers. I could either power this up to a 4, which would be great, or I could power this one up to a 2, and spreading them out is good. Having one worker that's super high up is also really good. I think that I'm going to do this, though, and you might see why if I can strategize correctly. Now, on to Teotihuacan's turn. He's going to roll the dice, and he gets a 9. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's going to take this action here. Perfect. So what you're going to see is that this action shows if Teotihuacan is on space 7, which he is not. You might say, Chris, but he does have a die over there, but this is in the locked space, not in the main action space. So because of that, he's not going to spend 2 gold to carry out this action. We will look and see if Teotihuacan has a worker in space number 4 now. Indeed, he does. So because he has a worker in space number 4, he is going to collect 2 gold instead. So he gathers his 2 gold, and I'm going to reference the rulebook again just to make sure I don't miss any step of that particular action. Alright, so because that was performed successfully, this die, because he takes one of these power-upable actions, he's going to power up from a 2 to a 3. And then this one is going to move. The previous one, this is one of the few times that his dice do not move. So instead, because this is a power 3 die, when it moves, it is going to move 1 space right here and get in the way of this action, perhaps. If it is a 4 or 5, it'll move 2 spaces instead of 1. Now, because we took this action here, it is going to have to get replaced. It will swap out. We're going to follow this chain of command, so this tile will move up to replace it, and then this one that was previously moved out will bump back in space, in place of it. This will flip, and now this is the order of operations. Alright, anything else that has to happen? Teotihuacan will advance the round tracker, and that'll be its turn. It's back to me. All right, so I'm running low on cocoa, running low on food, which is something that I really don't want to run out of. But I think that this will, I don't know, hopefully this will be good. So I'm going to advance one of my dice here 2 spaces to this action here. I have 2 on the stone place, or I have a single level 2, therefore I will get to gather 1 stone, which, hey, I'm okay with that. And he's going to power up to a level 3, if I can find it. There you go. Powered up, and nothing else major, nothing else too exciting is going to happen on my turn. So let's go back to Teotihuacan. Oh, and because of that, I had to pay 1 cocoa. That's right. Don't let me forget, Internet. Teotihuacan is going to roll, and finally gets a 7. This will be good, so you can see what happens with this double order of operations thing. So he rolls a 7, is going to take this action. Oh, dear me. All right, so anyway, that's what it looked like. Does Teotihuacan have a worker on space number 6? Indeed, he does. So he's going to spend his 2 wood. Uh-oh, he does not have 2 wood, therefore cannot take this action. So we're going to look at the other half of it. Does he have a worker on space number 2? And he does not. So because he does not have either one of these on action board number 2, I believe he's just going to collect 5 cocoa. Let me double check that. All right, perfect. Yes, indeed, he's going to collect 5 cocoa, so he's halfway there to 3 victory points, and now he's going to power up his lowest leveled worker. This locked one is always going to stay at 1. We don't have to worry about it. So looking around here, he's got a 2 and he's got a 2. To break the tie to figure out which one, you are always going to start clockwise from action board number 1 here. So he's going to power up this little fella from a 2 to a 3. There's a reason that it's important to power up, not just to collect more things, but also when you hit level 6, your worker dies. You get a new level 1 worker in its place. You just flip it back over. But you also get one of these ascension bonuses, and you'll get to see that soon. So he's got his cocoa, and he advances the round tracker. Back to me this time. And what I'm going to do is... oh boy. I think I'm going to take a risk, and I'm going to move this one here. So I've got 2 level 3 workers, which means that I get to gather 2 stone, which I'm more than happy about, so that I've got a lot more resources. But that necessitates me paying 2 cocoa for the previously found cocos that were already there. Well, that's not great, because I'm out of cocoa now. But I get to upgrade. I'm going to power this one up to a 4, and, I'm going to be okay with that. So now I've got this big pile of stone, which I'm hoping to be able to utilize over here to build up that temple, because I really want to build up that temple and get quite a few of the associated bonuses. So that's my turn, not super duper exciting. Teotihuacan is going to go again, and he rolls a 10. He's rolling high today. This is 11, 12. This is 10. Okay. So this is one of the more confusing actions, one of the most confusing actions he's got. We're going to search for the Teotihuacan's highest valued worker. And now because there's a tie, right, there's 2 3s out. When you look for the highest value worker, you are going to move counterclockwise from the starting number 1 palace space. So this worker will be the one activated. This one, this space, refers you to have to go and find the action for the place that this worker is on. So number 8, I'm going to go to number 8, which is going to lead me from here to the construction action. So now, Teotihuacan, if he has 2 stone and at least 1 worker there, he's going to spend 2 stone and build the leftmost pyramid space, or pyramid tile. So he turns in his 2 stone. He's going to grab this fellow. He always grabs the leftmost, and then this is kind of a sequence, right? It's going to shift down. That doesn't happen in a multiplayer game. These are just 3 available ones, but in a solitaire game, it's going to kind of shift down like this. So he's going to build this one randomly. So flip it over like this. All right, he's going to build in the topmost, leftmost available space. He's always going to build in that kind of sequence. So he's going to build that one right there. What's going to happen is, in order to score points, he also has to advance up on this pyramid track, which is unfortunate. I want to try and be on the lead there. All right. He's going to score points for the level of the tile that he placed, and then 2 additional points. So he built a first level pyramid tile, so he's going to get 1 point for that, and then 2 extra points. The reason for that is when you, as a normal human player, match symbols, you earn extra victory points. The computer player, because this is put out randomly, does not worry about that, just takes an average of 2 points. So now we're going to replace this with a new tile out here. And like I said, only for solitaire purposes, leftmost is kind of what the computer player is going to build first. However, I, as the human player, can build whichever one I want first. All right, back to the mastery space, right? Because we complete this action over here of construction, but now we're still on mastery. Now, we have to go here. If the action succeeds, the worker in question powers up. So now he's got a level 4 worker. Look at that. And now okay, yeah, now we're going to move this worker. So it's a level 4, so it's going to advance 2 spaces, and it's going to land right there. Okay, now back to here. He completed this action, so this is going to slide down. We see, according to this little chart here, this mask action is going to slide back out. This one is going to come back in. We flip this over and make it available down here in its new orientation. So, okay, a few rounds in, it's going to advance, and back to me, back to reality. Oh no! This one moved. So my plan of harvesting more cocoa did not quite work out. Uh-oh. All right. So I got to do this slow, like. I'm gonna come to this spot. I'm gonna come to this spot. It doesn't really make a difference right now. I'm gonna gather some food. So always gather 1 food plus 1 for each unique colored die that was there before you moved there. So in this case, I only get 2 food. That's a little slow. Teotibot's turn. He's going to roll. Gets another 10. Man, you're seeing a lot of really expensive actions here. So he's going to take the mask action, and the mask action says the closest mask to this person clockwise. Bam, 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 bam. Right here, blammo. So he's going to pay 1 wood to gather this mask. This is not good. I don't want him to have a huge set of unique masks because that's going to be a lot of points. All right, new development tile comes out. This does not advance. It does not develop or anything. That one's replaced. So now let's take the mask out. Put it down here. This is going to fill in this way. The lock comes up, and this mastery tile with the biggest action thing comes back here into play. All right, I only have 2 cocoa, and I need a lot more cocoa, I think, to perform everything that I want to do. So I'm going to take this worker, I'm going to move it 3 spaces over to this board. I come here, reinstitute the German flag, apparently, and I'm going to gather 3 cocoa. 1 for taking the harvest food action, and 2 for each of the unique colored dice that were there before. So I've got a little pile of food now. Teotibot is going to go take action number 8, which is this top one. So does Teotibot have a character in number 6? He does, but he does not have 2 wood. Does he have anything in number 2? He does not. So this action fails. And so as a consolation prize, what'll happen is, let me make sure I get all this right. As a consolation prize, he is going to gain 5 cocoa, which, as I said, is kind of dangerous because that's big points. And not huge points or anything, but still not what I want. And then he's going to power up his lowest level worker. So this 2 becomes a 3. All right. So now we check. He does indeed have 10 cocoa. Turns it in, and he's going to get 3 points. And then we're going to replace this action. Now you see how this double order of operations kicks in. So the top tile moves down. This one is going to move up. This one shows that this one's going to move up as well. And then the mask action replaces this spot. This one here flips over and becomes the new orientation, the new order of operations. And so that is going to be Teotibot's turn. We advance that, and we're ready to go. back to our heroes. I'm going to take this die here. No, I think I'm going to take this one. All right, so I'm going to take this one here. To take this action, I have to pay the 1 cocoa. To do so, I have a single number 3, so he's going to gather 2 gold, and then power up to a number 4. So that's my turn. My turns are a little less exciting, but I promise it's going to pay off soon. You're going to see some big stuff happening. Blammo, number 6, action number 6. So the computer player is going to advance his lock die, and so you see that this one will move to the next possible lock space. Bam, right here. And the computer player does not take these development tiles. Instead, it'll be discarded from the game. Oh, let me flip that one back over, sorry. It'll be taken out of the game. He does not get it. And then I believe that he's going to move up 2 spaces on this temple. So, 1, 2. Instead of taking this development tile, what the computer player will always do is take the benefit shown here on the bottom. So the computer player is going to gather 2 additional cocoa by moving up on the green temple track. The green temple gives you extra cocoa, red one is victory points, and blue one is resources of your choice, with some victory points kind of smattered in. Alright, does not have 10 cocoa, we got to replace this, so let's follow that order of operations thing. This is going to slide on down. This one moves up to the top, and then this middle one is going to slide on over, and this becomes the new bottom space of the pyramid. All right. Looking at that, I think that is good to go. All right, nothing else with the worship tile. Good. Advance this, and it's back to me, back to reality. Yes, I think that I want to move this die over yonder. So now I check. This is really fun. I'm really happy about this fight. I've got 2 level 4 dice, so I come here and I'm going to gather 3 gold, and I get to also nab 2 victory points. So, stupid computer, Teotihuacan, I have taken the lead. And you're not stupid. You're actually pretty well developed and well thought out. I get to power up a worker, so I'm going to power him up to a 5, meaning the next time that this one activates on a space that shows the upgrade symbol, I will get, finally get an ascension bonus. So my turn is over. Teotihuacan is going to go and rolls a 10. Like I said, I'm surprised how much this has happened. He's rolled a 10. But does he have an active worker on space number 7? He finally does. So he's going to pay 2 gold to take this action. The 2 gold will allow him to build the frontmost one of these, what are they called, decoration tiles. This is very similar to how these tiles work, right? Where in this case, this is the first one to go. And just as a rule of AI etiquette, it's going to build here at the 12 o'clock hour, the top of the clock, and move clockwise to the next available space where you can build. So it does this. This is going to slide down and get replaced. So what specifically happens else? Let me make sure I get all of these steps right. So he's going to score 5 victory points for doing that. Bumps him up to 11. He's going to advance on the pyramid track. No! I want to be in the lead of the pyramid track. And now he's going to advance on any temple by 1 space for having done this. This kind of simulates if you were to cover up the matching symbol with a color, you move up that color temple. To make things a little bit simpler for the AI, how it works is whichever temple the AI is in the lead on, he's going to move up that space. And if there's a tie, then it's going to go from the left all the way to the right. So he's going to gather 2 more cocoa, which scares me a little bit, especially because I wanted to move up this track first to try and get this big bonus space up at the top. I might have to focus a little bit on green, but that's okay. I'll make things work somehow. Yes, so he did that. At the end of doing the decorations, he's going to power up his worker. So this one becomes a 5, which is pretty scary because he's about to hit an ascension as well, which instead of making a choice here, the computer player always takes 5 victory points. So he's going to move this one. So it is a level 5, so he's going to move 2 spaces. 1, A small little minute rule, that computer player will never land here on the number 1 action board, so he's actually going to move over here to the number 3. So that's technically his 2 spaces that he moves, skipping over this. Alright, cool. So computer player is done. Round marker advances. We are almost hitting the end of the round, which is slightly scary for me. I'm going to take my turn by moving this worker over here. Huzzah! So we've got, I've got 1 worker here. This space is the technology space. It's a little different. If you have 1 worker, you can take any of these top row technologies. If you have 2 workers, you can take the bottom row technologies. But I think that in this case, I want to take the top one. But if you have a level 4 or 5, you can take the bottom one, but he does not power up. So I think I want to take this top one. I'm going to spend 1 gold. That was on camera. Sweet. And I take one of these technology markers, and I'm going to place it somewhere. I think the something that I want to do with it is, I'm going to take this one here. So every time that I gather resources on spaces 2, 3, or 4, this is 4, 3, and 2. So every time I gather resources, I will get a cocoa, and I will also get a victory point. I'm hoping to be able to line that up with this technology tile, where I will also get an additional one of those resources. So that'll be cool. But first, what's great is because I built a technology, and I had this technology already lined up, every time I take a 5 or 6 action, I get 3 extra victory points. You know, in fact, realizing that I had this when I took this action over here, I should have 3 more victory points from taking a space number 6 action. And then I should also have, I should gather 3 more victory points for taking a space number 5 action. This one is going to develop up to a level 5, which I think is pretty nifty. All right, so that's my turn. I accomplished everything there that I set out to do. So now, good old Teotihuacan. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do this whole little step series here. All right, all is fixed, all is well. Teotihuacan's turn to activate his little action pyramid. Action number 8. The mastery tile. This is the one that always gets me. It always confuses me. So he's going to look for his highest value worker, which is worker number 5. And he's going to activate the action of that space, which is number 3, harvesting stone? Wait, okay, so if it's step number... if it's number 3, he goes to step 2 of the construction action. Oh, weird. Okay, so he's going to go construct? Oh, step number 2. Okay, so he's going to gather 2 stone. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. He's going to take that. And now, I'm afraid that he's going to power up. Yes, he will power up and then advance his worker. So instead of staying at a level 6, when you hit a power up, what happens is you hit an ascension. You reset to a number 1, and then, oh hey, I forgot to pay 1 cocoa for that last action, but don't tell anybody. So he hits an ascension. He goes from 6 down to 1, and the 1 always resets here to the palace, which is, it's fine. He's just starting here, right? The computer player never lands here to take an action, but he will reset here for his ascension. When you hit an ascension, you advance this round marker 1 extra space as soon as an ascension happens. And then the next thing that you do will be, what is it? Oh, he's going to take his bonus of 5 victory points. So darn computer player is going to zoom on up here. Whew, yowza. All right, and then the last thing is for his turn. We checked it didn't have the 10 cocoa, but this is going to advance 1 space for ending his turn. 1 space for the ascension, and then 1 space for ending his turn. Yowza. All right, well, what a... yeah, that's right. He has to also advance the worker here, so it's going to advance 1 space because it's a level 1, 2, or 3 worker, 2 spaces if it's a 4, 5, or 6. Back to me. I'm going to come here, and how do I want to do this? Yes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 gold, because now I'm going to take this bottom series of actions, spend 2 gold to get a technology. I think I want to take this one here, the temple building one. This is really good. When I take this temple spot action, I get to act as if I have another additional worker. So if I come here with 1, I can take the level 2 action. If I come here with 2, then I can take it as if I had 3 workers there. I also get a discount of 1 wood or 1 stone when I take that action. And now I'm going to power up a worker and hit an ascension. The other thing I had to do was, I apologize, pay 2 cocoa for going to that space. So, I built a technology, which is a number 5 action, meaning I also get 3 victory points here. Whew. And now, oh dear! The other thing that happens when you build these technologies, you also move up the corresponding track on the shown temple. There is a lot of little bookkeeping things to keep in mind with this game, and I think that it's harder with the computer player because you have to administer all the computer player tasks. So I also moved up on a blue space of the temple, which gives me a resource of my choice, and so I can bring whichever one I want. And so I guess that what I'll do is I will get another gold. So I moved up on these temples. Hooray! I really want to be focusing on one temple, but it doesn't seem to be working out that way, just because of the technologies that I'm building. But that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so I took that action and I did everything. I got the ascension. Now I need to get my ascension bonus. I can choose any one of these things. I could choose to grab my level 3 worker with 2 cocoa, but I might hold off on that for right now, because once we hit a scoring phase, you have to feed 1 food for each of your workers. Grabbing 5 cocoa is going to be very useful for me. I could nab 5 victory points, or I could try and move up temple spaces. I sure would like to move up this green temple, because it's less cocoa now, but then it'll be more cocoa in the future once I start moving up further, and I'd like to get this technology bonus scoring endgame scoring tile. So that is a lot of stuff that's kind of on my mind of what I want to do. So which one do I claim? I honestly might have to claim 5 food now because I'm just not going to have a lot of time. I'll have to take the harvest action. You know what? This will work out. I'm going to move up on the green temple space and get 1 cocoa for right now, which is not huge. It's nothing great or big, but it'll be okay. Ha! All right, back to Teotihuacan. Oh, I forgot to do this thing here too. So the top action is going to move out of the pyramid. This one replaces up, and then this one slides out this way. This one is replaced. Very good. Now it is back to, and then if this one flips over, now it is the active turn of Teotihuacan. So let's see what he does. He's going to take this action. Does he have a worker on 8? No. Does he have a worker on 3? Where'd he go? Right here. Yes. Yes, he does have a worker on 3. Therefore, he's going to harvest 2 stone. And then he's also going to power up that worker on the 2 stone. And then advance it, and it'll move 1 space. Now, let me make sure that I did not mess up anything related to that or get ahead of myself. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Yep, okay, that's good. That's his whole turn. So let's just move this out of the way now so I can actually do it in proper order. So this will slide up, left, or to the right, or to the left. Yeah, backwards. And then this one will slide up to the left, and then this one comes back in, just flips over. Huzzah! So that's how Teotihuacan's gonna... That's how he's gonna show up, huh? That's how he's gonna do it. End of his turn. This triggers. What happens now when these overlap is that it means you finish 1 more round. So I'm gonna get 1 more action. Remember how I chose to take this space instead of getting a lot of cocoa? Well, that means that I need to get cocoa from my workers, you know, from my peeps. Ooh, hey, this was supposed to fill up, and I did not fill that up. All right, anything else that I'm missing? No. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm probably going to need to take some sort of action that's going to get me some cocoa, which I could, genuinely what I could do is either I could try and ascend this worker by taking this spot here to gather the cocoa, or I could save that. I could try and maybe move just to go and gather some food, which I think I want to save this for later. So I'm going to go and move here. I'm going to harvest 3 food. 1 as a base, and then 2 for the 2 colors that were there before. So that's my turn. That's not a great way to end Coco-wise. But that'll be fine. That'll be fine. So, Teotihuacan, I think I actually did this movement correctly. I shifted things around on time. Space number 7. Which is the top one here, because this is 6, 7, or 8. Does Teotihuacan have somebody on 6? He does, but he does not have 2 wood. He does not have somebody on number 2 either. So, instead of taking that action, so he's going to gather 5 cocoa, find his lowest powered worker, and then level it up, and then advance it. Bum, 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 bum. 3 is going to come over here. Humbug. So, whatever, that's fine. That's fine. Oh no, that's less fine than I want it to be. Fine. That's fine. All right. So, now we're going to hit what is called the eclipse scoring because we finished out that one additional round. So, really quick note, when I had that advancement, when I hit that ascension, this should have slid up already, but that's okay because it's now the same net effect because at the end of Teotihuacan's turn, that would have been fine. We would have finished out that one extra round still. If that's confusing, believe me that it actually worked out just fine. So we now hit the first eclipse or the scoring phase. So we do a few things when this happens. We're going to see, all right. We're going to go and pay for workers. So I have to pay 1 food for every one of my workers that's a level 1, 2, or 3. So I have to pay 1 for that one, 1 for that one. But then I have to pay 2 food for every worker that's at a level 5. So maybe I should have... bah humbug. Anyway, so I'm going to spend 2 to feed this fellow. If you fail to feed a worker, you have to lose 3 victory points, which I'm not interested in doing right now. The next thing that we're going to go and do is score points for how many spaces up we are on the Avenue of the Dead track. Ascension and Ascension. So that's kind of important. That kind of matters. Boy, if I had remembered all this stuff, I might have done things differently. There's little fiddly things to have to keep track of, which is fine. It's totally fine. It works out. So, okay. So, you multiply how many steps up you are times the number shown under this building here, or the lowest number shown. So we're each going to get 10 points because we are on step 2, and then we multiply that by 5. So I'm up at 27. Computer player's up at 26. Things are looking okay for me, right? Until you factor this into play. Whoever is furthest ahead on the temple building track is going to earn 4 points, meaning, bam, up to 30. And then the other thing that's going to happen is every step in the first eclipse that you are up is probably too small to read. You're going to score 4 points for each step. So Teotihuacan's going to get 8 points. 2 steps times 4. But this track does reset, thankfully, so that's nice. So I'll have a chance to kind of catch up, try and get these 4 points. But in the future rounds, at the second eclipse, every step you're up is only 3 points, and then 2 points in the last eclipse. So it really pays off to try and build up earlier, which is something I failed to do that I could have taken advantage of. I would have probably shifted things around, because if I had taken this worker over here, then I would have moved up here, step on here, and gotten an extra 4 points, and I would move up here, and they got an extra 5 points, and I would have gotten this. So, anyway, I messed up. I made a boo-boo. That's fine. We live, we learn, and then we get loves. This one resets up here, and now this end of the eclipse phase tracker is going to advance 1 space. So now when we play the second round, it's going to be shorter, and then when that happens, we trigger it and then move here for the third one. So that is an entire round of how this game works. I did not suffer negative victory points, but I also am sitting on this pile of resources having not done anything. So let's hope that the second eclipse phase will be a lot more productive for me. Well, I just remembered it truly wouldn't be the full eclipse unless we also scored masks. That's kind of a required thing, especially as the computer player here has 2 masks. So that's going to be 3 points that he'll be earning this round, which might not seem like a lot, but he'll be scoring that many points each of the 3 eclipses, and even more if he starts adding more masks to his pile. So I should definitely be careful keeping track in mind that, he is a full 14 points ahead of me, and he has quite a few recurring points going on for him that I won't have at the moment. So let's see what's going to happen. All right. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to? Yeah. So we reset, and we're gonna start off. Oh yes. We need to reset, or not reset, but move these dummy worker dice. So let's see where they go. Blue is going to go to 2, 4, and 5. You just go based on the first 3 numbers shown here. This is what was also done at the setup of the game. So let's do 2, 4, and 5. 2, 5, and 4. Well, some of those are redundant. And then we're going to move on to the black workers. 2, 7, and 4. Oh, geez. 2. This is going to move to 7, and then 4 is going to move from 1 over to 4, meaning that's a pretty busy spot right there. Oy vey. Okay. Well, I was hoping to get some more wood before I had to I was hoping to get some more gold before technology, but that's going to make that spot really expensive. Okay. All right, so that is everything now that we need for the end of the first eclipse. We are set. I'm going to start again, and let's see where we go from here. I really need to get some cocoa. Let's see, this spot's going to cost 3, that spot's going to cost 3. I only have 1. Oh no, and there's no workers between hither and thither. Eesh. This is a most unfortunate setup for me. Okay, so if I go here, I don't think that's going to be a good rate of return. Oh no. Oh no, is this bad? All right. This is not good. Things are looking bad for our hero, and I genuinely don't know what to do at this point. So, okay, no, I got an idea. I'm going to move this fellow, because I think it'll be easier to kind of zip him around the board. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 spaces to here. I'm going to harvest 3 cocoa, is what I'm going to do. So I get 3. That's not an exciting turn, but I'm hoping that's going to pan out. Oh, was this just the action that I took, or do I have to reset it? I think that this was just the action I took. Sorry, Teotihuacan. I'll get you down in 1 minute. So boink, I do that. This one's going to boink up over here, and then this one comes on up. Alright, so Teotihuacan's turn, and he gets a 5, which is going to be the lock action right here. I was thinking about locking myself in front of the computer player. So anyway, what's going to happen is player is going to move here, and lock can move up 2 steps on that temple, meaning they're going to get 2 resources. And resource-wise, the rule is that they're going to always try and gather the resource they have the fewest of, which in this case is wood. But if there was a tie for the resource that they had the fewest of, they would go in preference of gold, then stone, then wood, just like in real life. So that's going to be that. Also, the computer player is going to wipe this one out of the game and replace it with a new one, which ended up being the exact same thing. Happens. That's luck. Yeah, end of its turn is going to advance the round marker 1 space. Back to me now. I really do need to try and get some... I do really need to get some more cocoa. So I think I'm going to come here, and that's going to get me 3 more cocoa. And I'm hoping that soon now I'll be able to start taking good actions that won't require so much cost, so much price. So let's see what happens. Next up, Teotihuacan. Oh yeah, so I gotta do this whole step here. This one comes up, flips over, and this one comes into play. What you got? 9. Yeah, right over here again. This is a popular action spot for it. Okay, so it's got nothing on 7. Doesn't have anything on 4. It has neither of those things. Therefore, if both of those fail, it's going to gain 5 cocoa, which, like I said, not good points. And then it's going to power up its lowest level worker. They are all tied at 3, so it's just going to be one of these. Is going to bump up to a 4. Alrighty. So this one comes out, this one fills in, and then this lock action comes back into play. This flips over. I think I'm doing that all right. Okay. Advance the round marker, spend its 10 cocoa to get 3 victory points. Things are not looking good for our hero, but I shall make things work. We will overcome. Okay. So, if I come from here, I bring a level 1 over, and that'll get me 1 victory point if I do that. So 1 point, and now I get to power this worker up to a 2. That's, yeah, that's it. Nothing special. I don't even get resources because unfortunately it's just there. So, with that being said, so let it be written, so let it be done. That's the end of my turn. Teotibot, what you got for us, sir? Action number 7. Alright, so masks. Looking at this locked worker, what is the closest mask? Not a mask, not a mask, not a mask. So, where does it go from here? I think he has to start buying from the temple track next? Okie dokie. If the bot does not have one of the masks available near one of the worship actions on the palace action board or any of the 4 temple bands. Oh, on the temple. Okay. So yeah, there's no mask out here on the board. It can pay its cost and pay for that. If the above step yielded no masks, the bot gains 5 cocoa. Instead, it powers up its lowest worker and then advances it. Oh, I was supposed to advance this thing probably. That's okay. So it's going to advance 2 steps over to there. All right, that's fine with me. Oh, do you just power up the lowest worker? It advances. Okay, perfect. So that's supposed to be over there. That's in that wood spot. So now it yielded no masks, so it gets 5 cocoa. Makes me a little bit sad. It's going to power up its lowest worker. Lowest, you do it clockwise or counterclockwise, or anti-clockwise if you're British. That's right. It is from the lowest, clockwise from the palace here, so the lowest one is going to upgrade, and so this one's going to become a 4. That's not groovy. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We're good. So, yeah, that's an action. So Teotibot did the mask thing, so this is going to come down. These actions will fill up from the bottom right up, and then this will come up, this will flip over. There we go. So Teotibot, okay. That's good. Now it is, advance to the round tracker. Back to me, back to reality. I want to try and get some, I think I want to try and get more gold was my point of doing all this. But I'm going to come over here. I have to pay 1 cocoa for coming to a spot where my own worker is, but then I can power this up to a 2 as well. And when that happens, I had 2 workers, the lowest one's level 1, so I'm going to gather 1 stone. No, you know what I'm going to do instead? Take backs. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take this fellow, Chicka. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring this one up here, meaning I have to pay, instead of the 1 cocoa that I paid, I have to pay 3 cocoa. That's going to get paid, so 3 cocoa in total, and I'm going to build another one of these. It cost me 2 gold to do so, and I'm going to build this technology over here, which states that when I build on the temple track, every time I take the action number 8, I also get to advance up an extra step on a temple track of my choice. Now, having done that, gives me a step up here on the red temple, which is 1 victory point, and I also get 3 victory points for having done this action. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hey, look at that. When I took this action over here, guess what I was supposed to do? I was supposed to get a cocoa and a victory point. So, not bad, not bad. Trying to remember to use these technologies to the best of my ability. Now I'm going to power up. I could either power this one up to a 6 and get an ascension, which could be really nice, or I could power up to 3 instead, because I might want to keep this 5 to have like a good, big, powerful kind of dude just around. But when I look at these next upcoming actions, it doesn't actually require a specific number to die. So I think that's what I will do. I'm going to power this up to a 6, hit an ascension, hit a number 1, move up on this track here. I'm going to pay 1 cocoa to grab that thing, right? So I grab this ability for landing here. I'm going to spend it right now. I flip it face down, and I get to move up on a temple track of my choice. I'm going to move up on the green temple, which means since I hit this, I get to grab this ability. I'm going to use it to move up another step on the green temple, grab 2 cocoa. Things are starting to kind of fire full engine for me now, right? Now I hit an ascension, and I get to take one of these bonuses, and I can claim any of them that I want. I'm tempted to take this extra worker now since he'll be a kind of a higher number, but I don't know. There's a lot to think about with how I want to try and pull this off. So if I do that, I can either get 5 cocoa and just have like infinite cocoa, because these spaces are going to be expensive for a while, and it's going to allow me to do a lot more stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm just going to grab more cocoa because cocoa is life, man. Cocoa is life. If you don't agree with me, then I don't know what you're going to do. But so anyway, so I advanced that one. I built the technology. That's good. That was my first like pretty exciting turn, and it only took till the second eclipse. Sorry about that. On to Teotihuacan's turn. Rolls an 8, so he's going to take this top action. He has no worker on 8. Does he have a worker on 3? Does not. So this action is going to fail. Instead, he's going to gather 5 cocoa. Great. All he's doing is just churning in points at this point. All right. So then he's going to he gains a 5 cocoa. His lowest powered worker is going to power up. 3 becomes a 4, and then it's going to move. You skip this one always. Does not land here, so he's going to move 2 spaces. So skip 1, then 2, so he lands there, advancing his worker. Now at the end of his turn, he has over 10 cocoa, so he turns 10 in, and is going to move up 3 victory points. Yowza. Okay, this comes down. Master Tile is going to move on up. Lock Tile is going to move on up, and then Mask is going to come here into the middle. Advance this. Hey, I hit an Ascension, which means this was supposed to advance 1. So now for the end of his turn, it moves another space. This round's going to be a lot shorter. It's going to be, in fact, kind of scary short, because he has 3 level 4 workers, so he's going to ascend a bunch and just kind of, ruin my day, ruin my plans. That's fine. Okay, so the thing that I want to do now, I want to try and get up on the green temple, I want to try and move up on the red temple, I want to do these things, I've got stuff to do things with things. I'm going to take this worker and move over here. This is where you're going to see a lot of technology and stuff kind of fire in all together. I have these 2 technologies, so when I build on the level 8 space, I'm going to get some serious benefits. I get to act as if I had 2 dice instead of 1, and I get a discount of 1. So I can build up a few of these tiles. And I think the move that I've been wanting to do and kind of saving up for is I want to build a tile. I want to build this one to cover up a red symbol, of course, so that I can get an advance up on the red temple track. That would be great. But I also want to try and cover up and make as many matches as possible. So what if I build this one here? How does that work out? So I'd cover up 1, 2, and nope. Oh, ooh, maybe it's this tile. I would get 3 matches that way. Then if I built this here, no, I'm going to do probably that way and that way. That might get me a lot of matches. This is not very fun to watch me kind of like fiddle this all out. Oh, I know what to do. Here we go. This is perfect. So I'm going to build this one right here. So I have to pay 2 stone to do that, to build a lowest level one. I'm going to build it right there, so I'm going to get 3 matches. These 3 match what I'm covering. So in addition to this 1 point, I'm going to get 3 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then with this tile, I'm going to build it on the second story. To build it on the second story, I need to pay 2 stone and 1 wood. But keeping in mind my 1 resource discount, I'm going to keep the wood, I think, because maybe I'll be able to get a bunch of stone altogether. Stone is a cheap action board, right? It's not going to cost a lot of cocoa. So I'm going to spend the 2 stone. I'm going to build this one right here. So it's a second story one. Sorry. So it's a base of 3 points, and then I make 3 matches. So I'm going to get 3 plus 3 points. That's 6 points from 37 up to 43. That feels nice. Then, because I covered up a matching this symbol on top of another one of those symbols, I'm going to get to advance on the red temple. So I'm going to move up a step here, which earns me 2 more victory points. And now guess what? Now that I completed a space number, action number 8 action, I get to move up 1 more temple track of my choice. And I think I could either move up green to try and get this cocoa bonus, or I could move up red to try and get a ton of victory points here. Oh boy, I don't know which one's going to be better. I'm going to choose green, right, to get 2 more cocoa, so that I can just be rich, man. I can just be super, I mean, I'm in charge. I'm like the cocoa mafia over here of Teotihuacan. Heck yeah. That means I can get one of these advancement or development bonuses or something too, which I'm all about. So that was a sweet, productive turn. I'm going to refill in these 2 tiles. Hey, nice, a green Quetzalcoatl. I wanted to try and build that one so I can move up further on the green temple. All right. That was a lot, but that was a great turn, and I still even get to power up this worker up to a level 3. Oh yes, that feels nice. That feels very good, and that'll be the end of my turn. Now, on to the lame action of Teotihuacan over here. What you gonna do? Oh no, you hit the mastery thing. I think this is just the most confusing one. So anyway, I have to go and find the lowest or the highest value die that he has. They're all 4s, so we're going to go counterclockwise from the palace spot, and it's going to go over here. And so it is the number 2 spot, referring to the mastery number 2. He's going to grab 2 wood. So 1 and 2. So he grabs a bunch of wood, and then he is going to power up that worker, becomes number 5, and advance 2 spaces with them. Well, that's that. Whew, how are we doing? Okay, so I think that's everything for his turn. He doesn't have the extra cocoa and stuff. This comes down, this goes up, according to this little nifty chart flow. Whew. All right, well, I had a good turn. I'm pretty happy with my turn. Maybe I could have unlocked this dude and had like a higher level worker sitting around. All right, the thing that I think I want to do now, I think, oh no, my dudes are all weak. That's sad. All right, except for this guy who's strong. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna earn 1 victory point again to power up this dude. Yeah, so I get 1 victory point, but then because I have this technology, I get 1 victory point and I get a cocoa. So you see now why my first round I didn't do a whole lot, but hopefully my tech really kicks into gear here. Oh, I don't think that I moved this at the end of the computer player's turn. Gotta remember to do that. All right, come on, computer player. Teotihuacan, what you got? Number 5 action space is right here. So, does he have a worker on 5? Where is 5? Oh, he does have a worker on 5. So, he's going to pay, is it just 1 gold for technology? So he's going to get 1 gold, and he's going to grab the lowest level technology that does not have another person's marker on it. So he's going to go here, right? That is the cheapest one. Important note, the computer player does not activate technologies or really benefit from them in any way. So that's important to note. So he's going to do that. What else happens with this alchemy spot? All right. He's going to advance on the temple shown on that gear. So boink. Oh no! He gets 2 more cocoa that way. Cacao, whatever it is. So he's going to do that. power up, and then advance. So, unfortunately, he's now at a level 5 and advances 2 spaces. Oh dear. There's going to be a lot of ascensions happening really quick. So, Teotihuacan ends his turn, does not quite have 10 cacao. I'm going to trade in these ones for these singles for a 5, make it easier for me to track how much he's got and what he's kind of working with over here. Oh boy. All right. Good job, sir. Good job, sir. I advanced that. So now it's back to my turn. Back to reality. Hey, that's not bad. He made the space actually cheaper for me. So guess what I'm going to do now? I'm going to take my 1, move all the way over here. I have to pay 1 cacao, 1 cocoa or whatever, to pay for that dude being there. And oh no, I don't. Take backsies. Sorry. I got ahead of myself. I don't have any gold, so that's why I needed to power up this guy. So I could go here. I have to pay 3 cocoa, but you know, I've got a bit to spare for right now. So he's a level 2, so I'm gonna grab that 1 gold. He's gonna go from a 2 power up to a 3. I get 1 gold in my little pile over here. Jeez, that is a spot. That is a spot. Oh boy, I hope I have enough time this round. Anyway. That's fine. That's cool. So we're going to do that. That'll finish up my turn. I'll have a gold now to build a technology next round. And that'll be good. That'll be good. Teotihuacan, what you're going to do, probably should replace these things. All right. He rolls and he gets a 6. So he's going to advance on his lock spaces. So the closest lock space is over here. He's going to move up 2 steps on the red track, earning these bonuses along the way. So he's going to get 3 points. 3 points. 1 and then the 2 there for that. Good on him. He's going to replace this tile, which this one's nifty. This one's don't pay your workers at a food, at a have to feed your workers stage. Or for even taking an action where there's like, where it's really expensive or whatever. So that's good. Teotihuacan did that. This one resets to the bottom. This one moves up. This one moves up. Started from the bottom. Now he's here. Ha 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 ha. All right. And that's the new order for Teotihuacan. Advance 1 round. So now we know that at the end of this next round, it'll advance, even if someone ascends or not. And then, what's it gonna? So then we'll complete 1 more round, and then it'll be second scoring phase. So let's see what I can do. This here, I think, is what I wanted to do. Yeah, so I'm gonna, So I have 1 worker there, so I have to take a top level technology, pay my gold, and I'm gonna take this tech. Now, this would be great because I've got this, get 3 points every time I do a tech action, but because I built a tech where the computer player already has a tech, the computer player is gonna earn 3 points, unfortunately. So I get 3, computer player gets 3, and that's that. But I do get to advance on the green temple, so I get to go up 1 space. Now I can either grab the cocoa that's underneath, or I could grab one of these bonus tiles. And I think I'm going to grab this one that says when I take a 5, 6, or 8 action, I will be able to use it as if I had an extra worker. That's a one-time use kind of spend thing. So I'm going to keep that. This was a 3, so I'm going to power it up to a 4. Hey, that's a nice looking worker I got there. Indeed. So, yep, so that's my turn. Going back to Teotihuacan. You can take action number 4, which is this one here. He does not have anything on 8. Does he have anything on 3? He does not. Failed action, he's going to gather 5 cocoa. This is going to move on down. So up. Now, because that was a failed action, he's going to go and level up his lowest worker, I believe it is. Let me double check this tile. Yes, so this one becomes a 5. And, oh man, next scoring age is going to be so short because he's just going to have ascension after ascension after ascension. Okay, that's a lot of points he's going to get. Thankfully, he hasn't gotten any more masks, at least. So he's got... Oh, this is frightening. So he's got all those going for him. That's good. So that one moved down. He does have 10 cocoa, so he's going to pay that to get 3 points. And yeah, now I'm pretty officially worried. Ooh, hey, really important thing. I built 2 temple tiles, so I'm going to move up 2 spaces on that track. So at least that's good. I've got that going for me quite well. And it is now the end of Teotihuacan's turn. It's going to advance the timer. So now we know, hey, this is my last turn for the round. So what is it that I want to do? I've got this tech now, which is pretty excellent. So maybe I should start harvesting some resources and stuff so that I can end up building more of this dang temple. With that in mind, so if I could do a 5 or a 6 action, I can go as if I had an extra worker there. Yeah, that's fine. Because I've got this thing now. So maybe the 6, I don't have enough wood to do that, but wood's going to be an expensive spot. But I think that might be worth it. Or I could come here with a low-level worker to just get a victory point and 1 stone, and then a victory point and a cocoa. So this is what's excellent about having all of these tech, is that, now my actions are going to be so good, I hope. All right. As expensive as it is, I think I'm going to come here and get some wood. So I got to pay 3 cocoa just to do that. This is going to advance up to a 4, right? But I had it right here, so I get 1 wood. But with my technology, I also get an additional wood, and then I get a cocoa, and then I get a victory point. So I'm not too far behind, and these harvest actions are now becoming really good for me. They're just gathering the resources and such. So I think that I activated all of my tech. Teotihuacan, what you gonna do, sir, on your last turn? Space number 6, this thing here. Does he have anything on number 6? He does. Oh no! So he's gonna spend 2 of his wood that he's got. And, conflagrations. He's going to do this. He's going to build a house right here. So in the first scoring phase, if computer player ever does this action, he does it in the first row. In the second scoring age, he's going to do it here on the second row. And the third one, he's going to do up here. So that's a little frightening for me. So Teotihuacan's going to trade in those 2 wood, earn 4 points. Not what I want to see him do. And he's going to move up on this Avenue of the Dead track, which is bad because that's how I was hoping to kind of catch up and score points on him. Now, this is one of the sad parts too. This die is going to ascend. He's going to hit number 1 and start here, as all ascended dice do. Teotihuacan always takes 5 points as his reward for ascension, and then he moves a space here on the Avenue of the Dead track for ascending. So, okay. And then this die is going to advance 1 space, as per normal with his computer player. So at least one of the ascensions is out of the way, so that the third age isn't just 5 minutes long. With all that in mind, we hit the second scoring phase. So let's go ahead and do everything in order here. So I have to pay for my workers, whereas he does not. I have to pay 4, because I've got a 1. Oh no, I have to pay 5? I have a 1, 4, and a 4? Whoops. So I got to pay 5 of my precious cocoa, and I'm low again, which is fine because this spot can harvest me a lot of cocoa at once, at least, so that's good. And then, I move up on this green track, like I'm hoping to be able to soon, then I'll get even more cocoa. So I paid. Now we go here. Avenue of the Dead, we're going to multiply 4 points times each of our steps. 4 times 4 is 16 points for this little fella here. So what is that? 6 points would take it up to 71, and plus 10 takes them up to 81. I, on the other hand, only have 3 steps up. 3 times 4 is 12. So I'm going to go all the way up here to 63. That's okay. It's okay. Now we're going to go to the pyramid track. I'm in the lead, so I get 4 points for that. And then 3 points for each step that I moved up, which is 2 steps, so 6 points from there, 73. He gets 0 points, which I'm more than okay with. But then he's going to get another 3 points for his masks. So that is, that's the second scoring phase. Let's move these workers, the dummy blocker workers. So blues are going to go to 4, 8, and 6. So blue is going to go to 6, 4, and 8. Ah, curses! And then the black dummy workers are going to go to 1, 2, and 7. So 2, that's good. 1, that's fine with me. And then 7, so that one's going to stay right there. Okay, so I think that we're set up. We're going to move this one, and we're going to advance this one space, or reset this here. So now the round is going to end pretty quickly, especially as we start getting ascensions. I've got 2 that are close. He's got 2 that are right on the brink. So let's move into this last round and see what I can do to try and catch up to our old friend Teotihuacan. If I can get to the very top of this green track, then I'm really going to get a lot of benefit for that. So I'm going to start. I harvested some wood. So maybe I could come here and advance up on this track, and maybe I could, get some more higher points and stuff for it. Oh no, they're basically the same. Yeesh. All right. Instead, well, I could use this wood to build up more of the temple, but I get a discount anyway. So I think, but it's going to get me in better position here, so that I can use this higher level thing to try and gather some more resources, so that I can get more spaces up on the temple, which is what I'm going to do. If that was hard to follow, my apologies. I'm going to take this here. I have to pay 1 cocoa for taking a spot where another person was. I will spend these 2 pieces of wood to build up another house. So I build up this one. Oh, made a mess. And so I can either choose to spend this thing. I think I'm going to not, though, right? Because this is 3 points, this is 3 points. So I'm going to build it here. I'm going to get 3 points for that. 3 points for our old pal Red. And then I'm going to move up on the Avenue of the Dead track. So that's good. That is going to bring me up on some points at least. Hopefully at least tie with him here, because he's going to get more points otherwise. The last thing I forgot to do was reset the temple building track. So I did that. That's good. That's my turn. I powered up the worker from a 4 to a 5. So guess whose turn it is? The only other not real person at the table. 6. Oh, hey, I forgot to move this last time. So let's fill everything in according to this process. Here we go now. All right. So roll a 6. He's going to do the mask action. And I think that there's no masks out. Indeed, the 4 spaces here show no mask. Therefore, I need to remember what what happens here. That's right, gain 5 cocoa. Power up his lowest level worker. Good. Good by me. So this one becomes a 2, and then it's going to advance 1 space. No skin off my nose. I'm fine with that. I hope that all of your actions fail, Teotihuacan. Nothing personal. I just want to win and crush you, especially on camera in front of everybody watching. Nothing personal, like I said. This flips over. All right. He does not have 10 cocoa. This does advance 1 space. No ascensions, so we're good. We're good. All right. So let's do something good here. What do we got? I really want to try and get more resources so that I can build up more of this temple track, or more of the pyramid, so that I can move up on the temples. I really want all of those things quite badly, and so I think that the best way to be able to do all this, since this is empty right now, or I could take one of my workers and lock it here so that I could advance up on the temples, which I might really start needing to do before this game gets out of hand. I need to get to at least this step. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, which is also going to get me a lot of cocoa along the way, which will make it easier to do things here and there and whatever. So I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move my dude right here. This is a level 5. There's only one of them, so he's going to get 2 stone, which I'm okay with that, because I need stone to build up more of this temple anyway, or the pyramid, rather. Guess what? I hit an ascension. This advances. This is going to come all the way back here. I move up on the Avenue of the Dead track, which I'm more than okay with, especially if I can get to this step. Gosh dang it, I really want to get to that step so badly so that I can not have to pay my workers at the end of this round. That sounds great to me. So anyway, I've done that. Not only do I get 2 stone, but I get a 3rd stone from the supply because of my technology, and I get a victory point, and I get 1 cocoa. So that actually netted me a cocoa. Oh, how good is that? Quite good is the answer. So I did all of that. I'm going to hit this ascension bonus, and I don't think I need cocoa for the first time in a while. So I could either just outright take 5 victory points, or I could try and move up on this track so that I can get closer to hitting a ton of victory points. And I'm going to do that right now just to make it more secure. Or I could spend 3 cocoa to move up the temple tracks twice, which is what I'm going to do. So I pay 3 cocoa to pull off this move. I get 2 steps, 3 cocoa each. So I get 3 for the first step, and then I get 3 for the next step. So that's good. I'm swimming in cocoa again, right? Like I said, Cocoa King. I'm now 2 steps away from getting a serious amount of points, 25 endgame points, 5 per technology that I control. So I'm more than happy with this. I'm more than happy with this. So I think I've triggered everything that I need to trigger for this phase of the game. For this particular round, my advance for my ascension. All right, Teotihuacan, what you got? All right. 8, so we're going to trigger this one. Is he on space number 5? 5 is over there. So no, he does not trigger this. And now I'm going to have to refer to this just to make sure to see what the failed action is. If it fails, power up his lowest worker by 2 and then advance it. Oh man, you're just really ramping up the tension. So he comes up to a 4 and he's going to move 1, 2 spaces right onto the temple track, which I was going to try and go to build up more here and get a ton of points and stuff. So anyway, this action is going to move down. This fills up from the left, and then this one fills in from the right, or to the right. Anyway, oh my gosh. It's confusing doing this all upside down, but that's fine. Teotihuacan is done. He did not get any cocoa for that round. This advances 1 space. Back to your old pal, Chris. What am I going to do now? I think that I'm going to come here again and get another stone so that I can build more of the temple, maybe? So I want to try and build up... I want to try and build up on higher levels, because higher levels is worth more points in general. And I think that that'll be good. That'll probably be the best way to kind of go about this, methinks. Probably. Probably. So, come here. I'm going to get 1 victory point, which doesn't feel great, but with my technologies, this does feel great, because I'm going to get another victory point and a cocoa, and then I'm going to get a piece of stone regardless, which that feels so good. I can't emphasize how good that feels. This advances up to a number 2, a power 2 worker. Teotihuacan, you're up, sir. Space number 9. Well, this is unbelievable. He hasn't hit an ascension yet. So 9, this one's going to advance, come here. So now he's going to advance 3 steps of a temple. Oh no! The one that he's furthest ahead on is this green one. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's so close. He's almost beat me. So that's going to be a 6, 7, 8. Oh dear. So you can get 8 cocoa. So here's the 8, and then he's going to spend 10 of it at the end of this turn anyway. This one goes away and gets replaced with a new tile. Oh, a mask. Uh-oh. he might get that mask. So, well, here we go. He's going to spend 10 cocoa, move up 3 points. He hasn't moved up points in a little while, so at least that's going well for me. I've got that to feel good about. This is going to come on down. This moves on up, and then this replaces that spot. Flips over. Flip on down, sir. All right, at the end of his turn, he advances. Oh no. This game is going to end so soon because we're just going to hit ascension after ascension after ascension. And I just need to try and get as many points as I possibly can. I think I have to do things in this order. I don't know if I'm going to hit another ascension. Oh dear. And that scares me just a little bit. I think that I can make it. 1, 2, 3. There's going to be like 3 rounds left in the game. So I'm going to come here. Yes, so this is a level 2 spot. So I'm going to get 1 gold plus a bonus gold for my technology. And then I'm going to get What else? Oh, yes, 1 cocoa and 1 victory point. Look at me, I'm 7 points behind, but I'm hanging on. I'm hanging on, I can do this. Oh, and I had to spend 2 cocoa for the previous color workers that were there. And that is going to be the end of that turn. Oh, but he's going to power up to a 3. I don't think that's going to be relevant in this game. I don't think that it's going to be. Back to the computer player. Teotibot, what you got? Whoa! He's rolling high, I tell you what. 12. So he does not have a worker on space 7. He does have a worker on space 4, so this is going to trigger an ascension. Since he's on space 4, he's going to collect 2 gold, and then I think he's going to advance it. So yes, so this is going to power up. He's going to hit an ascension, coming back over here, meaning he's stepped up on the Avenue of the Dead path, which horrifies me. This advances 1 space for his ascension, and then he's going to collect his bonus of 5 points. And suddenly, I'm not so close after all, which is why I need to try and hit this, because that's the only way I'm going to score a lot of endgame points and really get a ton of benefit. So because of that, that's the end of his round. It advances, this advances 1 space. Now I'm scared, but things are going to plan, I think, actually. Things are quite going to plan. I think that it'll be okay. It is back to me and a little German flag here again. I'm going to take this worker over here. I now have 2. I have to pay 1 cocoa for my own dude being there. I'm going to spend this 2 gold. I spend 2 gold to get my last technology. Kabow! Oh, okay. So I get 3 points for completing a technology. 1, 2, and 3. And I get to move up on the green temple track. Ka-chow, which gives me 4 cocoa. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Think could really go my way. Ooh, and I get to power up a worker, so I'm going to power up this 4 into a 5. Oh, yes. Yes, things are going to go my way, I think. And now it's Teotibot's turn. So I did everything that I have to there. I moved up the temple space. I did this and that. All right. Oh, yeah, this one has to swap out, and then this one flips over. Here we go. Let's be ready. Space number 4. Oh, no. He's on space, so he's on space number 8. He has 2 stone, so he's going to turn into 2 stone. Oh, this isn't bad. So he's going to build this one in any random orientation. So he's going to do that. So he gets 1 point for building up a lower level temple spot. So he gets 1 point there. And then on top of that, he's going to advance on the pyramid track. Oh dear. So, yeah, so he advances on the pyramid track 1 space, gets 4 cocoa. I mean, he's almost at another outbreak. That's pandemic language. He's almost at another 3-point outbreak, I guess you would say. So he does that. And then the last thing he's going to do is score 2 extra points. I think, yeah, 2 points for kind of the average, so of covering up matching things. That's not really going to pertain to him. This slides down. A new tile comes out. Man, I was really hoping for one with a colored symbol so I could move up more temple spaces. But that's fine. That's fine. Teotibot does his turn. This advances, powers up to a 5 and advances 2 spaces. Huh. All right. So this action space right here is going to come down. This one fills up his little mask space. And that's his turn. He did not have one of those, he did not have an ascension. Whew, okay. Hey, things are looking good for our hero, Chris. What can Chris do that's going to get a lot of points? I think I know one thing. I'm going to go ahead here. I have to pay 1 cocoa, and now I get to take the building action. I'm going to spend these 2 stone, 2 stone and a wood. I might take that discount. We'll see. Okay, so let me think about what I'm going to build first, and then I'll pay for it. The resources are worth nothing at the end of the game. I'm not going to have a lot of actions left, so I might as well try and spend big if I can. I can't build a 3rd layer anyway, so This one I definitely want to use to cover up a Quetzalcoatl symbol. So if I build here, that's going to be worth 3 points, 4, 5, and then it'll advance me the step that I need here on green. So that'll be, yeah, that'll be good, I think, right? So that's 3, 4, 5 points for the temple. So from 83 up to 88, which gives me, kabam! Yes, this big endgame scoring, which I needed so badly. That might do it for me. And then I can build another one of these tiles. The question is, should I build it? Is there anything good for building up higher, or do I get more points for building lower? Generally, I'm thinking that I'm going to benefit more from building higher. So this is a little bit backwards from what I want it to be. How about this fellow here? I'm not going to get a ton of points from building either of these on a higher level, but I'm not going to get a ton of points from building on a lower level because I'm going to get 2 less, and I can't make everything line up. So I will spend 2 stone and a wood to build this one here, and then I'm going to spend 2 stone and a wood with a discount because of this one here. So I do this. All right. So I wanted to build this one. Oh, did I only get 1 point for this one? Pardon. 2 points. Here we go. So I'm going to build this one this way, right, which is going to give me 3 points plus another 2 for covering up matching symbols here. So I did that. That is going to get me another 5 points. So from 88 up to 93, which feels good. And then watch this, right? Because I use this technology now to advance up a temple track of my choice, which will be this one here. So I'm going to instantly score 5 points. I have pulled ahead of Teotihuacan for the first time in so long. So long. Now guess what? This powers up. I'm going to just replace these ones here. This powers up, hits an ascension, so I get to move up on this step right here, and I will take this. I'll take this pay no food symbol. I'm definitely okay with that. Yes, I'm going to pay no food at the last scoring phase, which is great. And then as part of an ascension, I get to choose one of these bonuses, and I think that I'm going to pay 3 cocoa to move up 2 steps on a temple of my choice. And do I want any of these things? I could move up more here on the Avenue of the Dead. That could be worth a lot of points for me. So I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay. I paid the 3 cocoa to move up 2 steps. This step gives me 2 points. I hit 100. Woohoo! And then this one, I can pay a cocoa. Boy, I'm not going to have a lot of good stuff to do on my last turn, but whatever, that's fine. So I'm going to do this, pay a cocoa to, what was I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to pay that cocoa, to grab this thing here. That's what it was. Or I could grab resources so that I could come here, get more points, and then get more points. But this one's going to be worth 4 more points. Anyway, trying not to min-max too hard here. But I'll stick with my original plan. I'll take this one. I paid the cocoa for it, so I'm going to use this to advance up another step on the Avenue of the Dead path, because that's going to be worth quite a few points for me. So I am more than happy with how this turn has kind of wound up. So I hit an ascension, blam! So that signifies that this is going to be the last round. Well, we finish out this round, and the next round will be the last round of the game. Oh, you know what I could do? Ha ha ha, not to take backseat too hard, but check it, just to make sure I get the most points possible. Instead of, I paid my 3 cocoa, instead of moving up 2 steps here, I'm going to move up 1 step on this track and get a piece of wood. Because I want this tile. So you're going to see how that's going to really pan out well for me here in a second. I just need to be careful. Still beat Teotihuacan. So that's going to be good. And I promise that it'll make sense when I do the next action here. So that's my turn. What a very, very happy turn that was. And now Teotihuacan is going to go with the action space 5, meaning he's going to come and grab a mask. That's partly what I was afraid that he was going to do. Wasn't there a mask out right here? So he's going to have to pay 2 cocoa and a gold to get this mask. So he's going to add it to his little mask collection here. So he's now at a set of 3, which goes from 3 points to 6 points for the end of the round scoring. And that's it. Wow, that's it. So, ooh, hey, look at that. That's really nifty, actually. Now I've got some options. All right. So the mask action goes down here. This is going to refill from yonder. This action cannot be taken. This action cannot be taken because this is going to be the last round of the game. So we advance the timer normally, but we have hit the eclipse. This is the last round before we score up points. And now we are going to take our last actions. I'm going to take this. I'm going to do a lock action. I haven't done a lock action yet this game, which a little bit surprises me, but it's going to be great. So either I can come here and I can get move up on the red track, which this is going to get me another 4 points, and for the Avenue of the Dead track, and then up on the and then I could spend a wood to get another 4 points. So that's 8. Or I could come here, bump this guy out by paying one food. It'll unlock him. Then I'll get to move up 2 temples tracks of my choice, and then I could do lots of stuff. I could move up twice. I could go blue and then red, and I could get this thing if I wanted, which would move me up 2 steps on the Avenue of the Dead. That doesn't really matter. I think it kind of all equates the same way. All right. So I'm going to come here, do this. I will pay a food to take both of these lock space actions. It's funny, I actually haven't shown how this works yet. So you always get to choose one of them. If you pay a cacao or a cocoa, you get to take both of them, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to advance up on the red track, come here, spend a cacao to get this advance up the Avenue of the Dead track. This is the thing that I kind of took back earlier, which I apologize about. So I do that, and I advance up here, right? I think I forgot to move my thing back there. Well, I'm going to call that good. Then I'm going to spend a wood to grab this little tile here, which costs a wood, activate it in order to get 4 more points right away. This refills, and that's my turn. That's the last thing that I'm going to do this game, which that netted me quite a few points overall, which I'm excited about. And now it is the old computer player's turn. Last action of the game, sir. What you gonna do? Action number 4. Oh no. Okay, so he's gonna turn in 2 gold in order to take action space number 7. He's gonna build this one right here. Bam! That lines up. And so when he does this action, let me make sure you get all the steps correctly. He's gonna score 5 points. That is a good last turn. He's going to advance on a pyramid track, which means he will also get these endgame scoring points. Whoa, that's a little worrisome for me. And the last thing that he will do is advance on the pyramid track. Hey, guess what I forgot to do? Advance 2 spaces on the pyramid building track. So I'm going to fix that. So I've done this. He's here. So I'm 1 space ahead of him, which is good. But he's going to get this endgame scoring. But I think it's fine. I think that I've pulled it off, and I think that I pulled ahead. So now that he is done with it, oh, he's going to hit an ascension. Surprise. All right. So his power's up to a 6. Bam! He ascends, which means he's going to go up on the Avenue of the Dead track. He's going to score another 5-point ascension bonus, and he's now pulled 1 point ahead of me. That was the perfect last turn for him to have. Let's do endgame scoring and figure out how close of a game this is going to be. I think I pulled it out, but if I lost to a good opponent this time. Okay, so feeding workers time. Guess what? I'm going to use this action, which means I don't have to pay for any of my workers, even though I had enough to. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Next, we're going to go here and get points for our relative position on the track on the Avenue of the Dead. 4 points per. So he's on space 6. 4 times 6, I can do math, is 24. So up to 9 plus 20. So he's at 129 points. I'm at 7. 7 times 4 is 28. So from 4 up to 6, that's from 4 up to 10, that's 6 points. And now from here, 22 more points. So 22, bam, 132. So that's good. We're going to go here now to the pyramid track. I am in the lead on the pyramid building track. So I get another 4 points up to 136. And now we're going to get 2 points per each step. So he gets 2 and I get 4. So I'm up at 140 in the lead for him. Woohoo! And the last thing we're going to do is score his set of masks, which is 6 points for him. So he goes from 131 to 137. And at the end of the game, and only at the end of the game, we're also then going to score up and see for these things, these top of the temple tracks, so this penultimate step, what bonuses are we going to get? He's going to get 10 points because he has 2 different technologies times 5 points. So he goes up to 147. And I will get 30 points because I've got all 6 technologies. So 30, so I go from 140 up to 170. And I was able to pull off the win, which would not have happened if I did not get to this step on the green temple track. So that is that. That is the complete playthrough solitaire of this game. And that was a close one. That was definitely a close one. I appreciate you coming by, spending the time with me. Hope you enjoyed this game. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much. This is Chris from Meeple Overboard. Take care.